All right, what's going on, everybody? Dad of War, and we got why Sick Boi is off of all streaming platforms. Now, I wanted to go ahead and react to this video simply because he just dropped the new diss track against KUJOBEATS, but I don't know the situation. So I wanted to react to this video first, drop this one, and then drop the music video reaction immediately after. Probably not immediately after because it's already late in the day. This one I'm just uploading. So tomorrow we'll go ahead and have the music video up. And I do have a lot more Ren in store. I got some Easy Meal coming up. So if you guys also like Easy Meal, we got that coming. 50 Cent, you know, got a lot. Got a lot to get to. There's been busy. Been very busy. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get into this video.
This is a video.
Make sure you guys drop a like, comment down below what else you guys would like to see, and subscribe to the channel for more content. All right, now let's go.
This is a video that I never ever really wanted to have to make, but it's very important for me that I do. All the time, artists all over the world pour their souls into their work, and that work is tainted by money or greed.
True.
A lot of you will have been asking me the question why Sick Boi has disappeared now, as well as YouTube on streaming services. It's a video that was very close to me. It's a video that told my story about my health. It's a video that told the story of many other people who have been gaslit by the medical community. It's a story of greed in the music industry, ironically, funnily enough. It's also a song that I poured tens of thousands of pounds into for a music video, for promotion. It was also the leading title of the only #1 album that I've got, so I was very, very proud of it. And we'll no longer have that song, guys. And I want to go into the reasons why. Also, I do recommend sticking around to the end of this video, because I've got a very exciting announcement about all of this that relates to all of this right at the end. People who have been following me for a while, they'll know the sort of person I am. They know the principles that I have, and they'll know how I treat other independent artists. So they'll know why it was so important for me to have to make this video. And I want it to be as unbiased as possible. Obviously, I'm emotionally affected by it, and that may leak in, right? But I want to share entire clips of these conversations so there can be no doubt. Also, if Kujo and his girlfriend want to share any more screenshots of either of those conversations, I encourage them to, because I believe that this should all be public knowledge, so there can be no doubt. Rather than taking people's words from it, I would like them just to see transparently what has happened here. To give.
Okay. So it sucks because I haven't heard the song. I just got introduced to Ren not too long ago, and one of his top songs is already taken off of all streaming platforms. Sick Boi. I saw the album. I'm gonna react to the whole album, but come on. What happened? Let's see what happened, because I'm kind of upset that I didn't get a chance to listen to that song.
Context for all of this: back in 2022, I buy a beat from BeatStars, right? For anyone who doesn't know, BeatStars is a platform that connects producers to artists who need beats. I do produce most of my own work, but I wanted to find some hip-hop beats for inspiration. What I would usually do is buy a beat, arrange it slightly differently, tweak it myself, add my own vocals, add my own layers and stuff like that. I find this banging beat, right? From a producer called KUJOBEATS, which I buy an unlimited license for. This is all very important to keep in mind for later on, right? I buy an unlimited license, which means that I am able to put it on all streaming platforms and get as many streams as I want, and all recording on platforms like YouTube, etc., right?
Yep.
After I do this, I send my YouTube guy that I work with, and I send the publishing team an email just giving them a heads up, being like, yo guys, I bought this beat, they need to be registered correctly, content ID needs to be turned off. I'll put a clip of that. I'm putting screenshots of those messages here, just in case Kujo claims I never did this. I did do this. I also went the extra mile and messaged the team and said, look, we need to credit him on Spotify credits and stuff like that as well, because sometimes artists don't always fully credit producers. I think that I forgot to always fully credit.
Okay. I mean, everything's legally bound, correct? I mean, if you're gonna put your beat out on a service that people can buy it royalty free, well, buy it and then use it royalty free, then what's the problem? What happened? What happened? I'm not getting it. Ren so far, and then he even went as far as to give him the credit too because he liked the beat so much. I think Kujo
credit producers. I think that I forgot to do it in the YouTube description for like the first month or two, and then I updated it, and then he was fully credited the whole time, right? That was just a lapse because there was a lot going on. I was in Canada treating and stuff. But anyway, he was credited fully, like very soon in.
Which he didn't have to be, from what I'm tracking, because he bought the beat. But he didn't even have to credit him at all.
Everywhere, and as far as I was aware, registered everywhere. So I don't think anything of it, right? Also, in the BeatStars contract, it says very clearly that the person selling you the beat has to own the beat, and if there are any elements of the beat that he doesn't own, he has to let you know. This is very important to remember for what is to follow as well, right? So
So Kujo sampled someone else's stuff, therefore not making it his. Shady. Yeah.
So yeah, I think there's no problems. I buy the beat. I record a song. This is before things have blown up with my music, so I'm still pretty underground artist at this point. I record the track, put it out. I even get a message from him at some point, which is also important to remember because of the hypocrisy of this whole situation. That's like, wicked, I love the track. Okay? Remember that too. Before I begin, I just want to add this. I have no problem with BeatStars. I think they're a very innovative company who actually help people make art, which I'm very, very passionate about. I think the contracts and the things you're getting into could be clearer, because we're now in a situation negotiating older tracks bought from BeatStars. I would love to talk to the if anyone from there is watching, I imagine they will be at some point. I would love to talk to the CEO, founder of BeatStars, face to face, just because I want to understand how something like this could have happened, and I want to understand why it escalated the way it did, because from what I've heard, he's someone who cares a lot about artists, and someone who creates a platform like that I think must be very passionate about music. I'd love to chat to you if you're listening, and I'd love to figure out why this happened and how we can stop things like this happening in the future. I also think that there needs to be a bit more stringent checks on if people are selling unlicensed samples, because then things tend to get a little bit sticky like they have here. Anyway, that's it. I have no problem with BeatStars because
Okay, so very mature in the way he handled that. And yeah, I mean, sucks. It was one of his #1 songs from what I'm tracking, right? Come on.
I'm not interested in going to war with them, because I think that it's really cool that there's a platform like that exists for artists and producers to be connected. Just thought I'd put that out there and make that clear. Right, so I arrive home from Canada after a 1.5 year long treatment of treating brain damage and autoimmunity, which a lot of you will know if you've been following my journey. And I'm expecting a nice 2 weeks with my mates before I do my first ever solo show in 5 years because of my health. So I'm just like, I want a nice chill time. I want to be able to focus on rehearsing and stuff. Very early on, I wake up to a message saying, yo, your song Sick Boi has been taken down. So I look at it, and sure enough, it's been copyright striked from this guy KUJOBEATS' channel. And initially I'm like, oh, this just must be some automatic fuck up. So like, I don't take it too seriously. I send him a message like, yo, there must have been a technical error or something here. No response for 2 days. So I'm like, what's going on? So I check his channel, and then I see a comment of that beat that he licensed me, and I see a comment that's like, Ren has left me no choice. I'm sorry that I had to do this. And I'm like, okay, so this was intentional. Like, what? Like, the last conversation I had with this guy was months ago, with him being like, yo, big up your work, it's sick. So I'm like super confused about it. So I send him another email like, dude, what's going on? Again, I get absolutely no response. So I put a comment on his YouTube comment section, and I'm like, bro, I'm trying to get hold of you. Why are you ignoring me? Like, I just want to resolve this amicably. What's going on? Finally, I get a response on Instagram. And
Okay, hold on. Go back.
Again, I get absolutely no response. So I put a comment on his YouTube comment section, and I'm like, bro, I'm trying to get hold of you. Why are you ignoring me? Like,
Okay, hey man, I want to understand what's going on with this dispute. I thought you had been credited fairly everywhere. If you hadn't been, it's totally my bad. I was going through brain damage treatment at the time of your message, but I thought I'd updated all correctly. In regards to the sample, we got a message saying the sample of the choir had not been cleared, but I had nothing to do with it, with what happened next. That was my publisher. They just told me that they were dealing with it, and I heard nothing about it since. So I'm really confused as to what's going on. But I'd love to sort it so everybody's happy, because I don't want, for your sake or mine, for this to need to get legal, because it's such a pain in the ass and costly thing to happen. Yep. If you could let me know who in my team you've been talking to and what they've all said, I'll get on it. Because if it's something they've done wrong on their end, I want to resolve it ASAP so everybody is happy. I just really try to focus on the music and stay out of all the things business, so I had no idea what was going on. That there was an ongoing dispute going on. Just got forwarded some comments from you replying to someone, which I was kind of surprised about. Ooh.
I just want to resolve this amicably, what's going on. Finally, I get a response on Instagram. And for the sake of this video, I'm just going to put all of these responses in their full form so that there can be no doubt as to what happened. I'm just going to read out like the key moments and explain the key moments. But if anyone's like interested in deep diving so there can be no doubt as to what's happened here, feel free to pause it. If Kujo and his girlfriend, like I said, feel like I've left anything out,
That's me.
they're welcome to post it. I have nothing to hide about this situation. So he responds and he tells me that he's been talking to my lawyer for months, which I have no idea about. I've been in Canada.
What? Hey Ren, I'm really sorry that it came to this. I especially asked my legal rep not to request a strike since I wanted to avoid this type of situation. My rep has been in contact with your lawyer, who has been exceedingly incompetent in handling this situation. Again, I'm sorry for this total cock-up. I hope you're doing okay. We have been in negotiations with the blank for many months, and he has yet to come forward with reasonable terms according to industry standards. So yeah, I'd say talk to blank and see what he says. I'm still waiting on updates from my rep at BeatStars. I had no idea at all you were even talking to blank. He should have told you. All I was told that a couple of months ago, the choir sample hadn't been cleared and that they were chasing us for money and that it was being dealt with. So I just figured it was being sorted behind the scenes. That's why all this has all been so surprising. I was also made aware of that. I'm sorry it caused you trouble. Yeah, man. Sorry this caught you off guard.
And he seems like quite a nice guy initially, so I'm like, okay, maybe this has all just been a misunderstanding.
That's what I was thinking.
Saying to like Connor and that, I was like, this has probably just been a misunderstanding and something's gone wrong here. Don't worry. He seems like you're all right, dude. We will sort this out. But then after that little exchange, I noticed a comment in the YouTube comment section on his video saying that I'm lying.
So all coming from Ren, Sick Boi. I have waited over a year for Ren and his team to follow the terms of the contract they signed for this beat. During this whole period, I have not issued any strikes with the faith that they would make things right. I asked my legal representative not to issue strikes initially, as I hope Ren and his team would do the right thing. Unfortunately, they have delayed and avoided providing any reasonable terms to my team with shamefully long periods of silence. Respect the terms of the contract. Don't spread misinformation. Don't lie. What misinformation? He didn't even know what's going on. And then you're going to come out and lie over here on a comment. That's whole shit.
About the situation. When I thought that we like on the same page here. So I pull him up on it. And he's like, oh no, I didn't say you were lying. When he clearly did. That should have been like the first red flag for me. But still giving him the benefit of the doubt. I was like, okay, maybe another misunderstanding. Anyway, so I contact my lawyer to find out what the hell. Anyway, so I contact.
I'll dig it.
When he
okay, you said you hope me and my team would do the right thing. I didn't even know what the issue is. I'm really not trying to damage your image, bro. Can you explain it to me? Okay, let me go edit the comment and I'll get back to you right away.
Clearly did.
Oh shit.
That should have been like the first red flag for me, but still giving him the benefit of the doubt. I was like, okay, maybe another misunderstanding. Anyway, so I contact my lawyer to find out what the hell's happening because I'm in the dark about all of this situation. And he explains to me that I've been sold a beat with a stolen sample, with an unlicensed sample, and that the Bulgarian choir sample owners had chased him and gone, look, you've used this beat without permission, you've used this sample without permission, and so you need to give us 50% of the publishing split. And what my lawyer's done, because we were sold a beat in good faith and it wasn't actually cleared, he's reached out to Kujo and gone, look, I think you need to absorb this for selling this in bad faith, basically. And they've gone, no, we're not going to absorb that. And then it's escalated, and I think because my lawyer was being slightly slow with the responses, they also, keep in mind, I don't know any of this is happening right now.
And the shitty part of it is that he just came off a treatment too, and he was excited for what was to come, and then got hit with this bullshit. Damn.
To get my attention, they issue a copyright strike on the video, which affects my YouTube channel, by the way, and the video gets taken down as a form of leverage, which is a bizarre way of dealing with things, I think, because it would have been a good idea to contact me, maybe, like anyone first, if this was getting so like blown up. Like maybe the lawyers, maybe Kujo could have actually reached out to me, the artist. Nobody did. So I found that a bit bizarre. Any fucking way. Then I read a comment.
We can talk on Instagram or email if you want. I've been in negotiation with your lawyer for months without receiving any satisfactory response. You have yet to pay me the royalties you owe, and I think it's cowardly of you to pretend like you have done nothing wrong. What the fuck?
And another comment that Kujo's posted calling me a coward to pay the royalties he's owed, and I'm like, what royalty? That's also, in my head, the publishers are just paying him the money, and now the situation has to change until everyone agrees on it. But I wasn't even privy to that conversation about what a fair split should be yet. So I was like, what? I don't owe you. I don't owe this guy money. Like, there's no master splits on the BeatStars contracts, by the way. So all money that comes in to Kujo, which should be paid to Kujo, rightly so, comes from the publisher, which is nothing to do with me, by the way. I explained this so many times in this conversation, by the way, and he's adamant to say, probably short of like 50 times, pay me my money. I am nothing to do with his money, right? So it's a very bizarre thing to keep saying, but I tried to explain that to him patiently. Never really takes it in. Anyway, he calls me a coward on this comment, so I pull him up on that. This actually starts to then rub me up a little bit. So I'm like, I pull him up on that. It's saying like, the hell, like, cowardly. Anyway,
Also, this man, cowardly, bro. I didn't even know you weren't being paid publishing, but publishing has nothing to do with the actual artist. I've been frustrated with my own publisher, but if there's been a faulty registration of your publishing, then you and me both are pissed at them because I forwarded them the contract from BeatStars for this exact reason, so you'd get all publishing you deserve. There should be a 50-50 split. Okay, so there is a 50-50 split on that BeatStars shit, but bet I'll edit it out. Like I said, I woke up to a bunch of angry fans and it got me shook, bro. Out of here. This is all pretty crazy. This is all just a pretty crazy way to go about things. I don't understand why the copyright strike would even be sent without anyone, you or my lawyer, telling me what's going on. I don't understand why your lawyer didn't tell you anything. This is on him. Like, was Blank warned about it? The copyright strike? Dude, my legal rep has been talking to you for months. Literally months. But you didn't answer the question, bro. You dodged it.
I'm still giving him the benefit of the doubt at this point. Anyway, despite this, I feel like he's probably just misinformed. So I still take his side on it, and I go on to reassure him he'll get paid his public.
I swear the music business is fucked. I've been knowing this for a minute, but so much incompetence, whatever the case. Rest assured, whatever the split ends up being with publishing after this sample clearance, you will get paid. Make sure of it, so don't stress about losing any money. Love, bro. Thanks for being so open and respectful. Yeah. And you just been nothing but disrespectful.
Money, because I want him to get paid his publishing money. Doesn't affect me in any way. So like, I was like, yeah, I'll chase it up for you. I let him know that I'm happy to split publishing if there's a bit of a grey area, and I'm kind of reassuring him. It's really important to remember this, by the way, guys, because some of the lies that are posted later make me out to be really unreasonable. So I'm like, yo, if there's some simple mistake, let's split the publishing.
All I want to know, which nobody's telling me, is were you legally obliged to either inform me or clear the sample before I bought it? If yes, you should cover publishing. If no, let's just split the publishing equally on whatever share is left over after the guys chasing the sample have their share. To me, that's not rocket science, but no one can give me a clear answer. Also, what I still totally don't understand is why there was a copyright strike on a YouTube video, which has absolutely nothing to do with publishing. because whether or not hold on, sorry. Because whether or not that was you or your representatives, that's a really fucking weird thing to do. That's harm my own hard work. I don't care about whatever the splits end up being. All I care about is what is legally right or wrong here. So I don't understand why no one can give me an answer. It's so simple to me. Yeah, copyright strike. From what I've heard, that could be daunting.
And it's cool. I'm happy to do that. Yeah. Anyway, so he comes back to me and lies more. He says, it's always up to the performer to clear the sample. It's not.
Jesus, this is a lot. Like I said on BeatStars, it says there's a sample contained in the beat. It's always up to the performer to clear the sample. But in this case, as you can see, we're willing to make concessions for you to get a fair share. Also, what I still totally don't understand is why there was a copyright strike. Oh, okay, so he's replying to that one. I was under the impression that you would have received a warning. I had no idea that the video would be completely taken down. Bro, you know exactly what you were doing. And the reason a strike was issued is because your rep was dragging his feet and playing games with us, and it seemed like your only possible negotiation tactic to get a response. Keep in mind, we all thought you were in the loop. I've been in this industry for over 7 years, and it's not the first time I've had to deal with this type of situation. So please excuse my initial lack of faith. Like, I don't want to sound like a cunt, but if everyone was paying me correctly, I would still be posting on YouTube and BeatStars and making music full time. As it is, I'm working shit job, struggling to make ends meet, trying to make time for music. That's why I joined BeatStars Publishing, so someone would have my back and help me with what I'm owed. The way you're carrying yourself, bro. Come on.
It's up to the producer, but unless there's been a conversation. But in this case, as you can see, we're willing to make concessions.
Oh, okay. 100% I've emailed asking him to get back to you directly ASAP. We've been dealing with the situation for months, and I hate to see this hurting your art. So yeah, I also want to wrap this up immediately and get your song back online.
For you to get your fair share. So actually, it's me making the concessions here because he sold a stolen sample, and I'm like, you know what? You can still have some publishing split, right? So like, I'm actually being the one that's being quite reasonable here, and he's flipped on his head like, we'll be good to you, you know, because I've done nothing wrong in this situation. Anyway, I was like, and then he says, I was under the impression you would have received a warning. I had no idea that the video would be completely taken down. Another lie, as you'll see soon. He and his lawyer agreed to take this video down as a form of leverage. It was our only possible negotiation tactic to get a response. Maybe message me. They're scratching their head. How can we get a response? Okay, we'll take his video down, issue a copyright strike, which also I didn't actually response. Okay, we'll take his video down, issue a copyright strike. They're scratching their head. How can we get? Maybe.
Is that what I just read? That's what I wanted to see. Oh yeah.
Maybe. So the only possible tactic, dude, message me. Send me an email, like you've messaged me before to tell me that you love my work, so like send me an email about this. Anyway, he says he also wants to wrap it up immediately and get the song back online. Another lie, as you will see later on, because he decides to stick to his guns and use the video as leverage. Anyway, the plot thickens. I get an email from their lawyer, and I'm not going to share it in case they start claiming I'm sharing things I'm not supposed to. But I get an email, and it says, on top of the publishing split, they want a £3,000 payment, right? They want a 15% retroactive split of the master, which has nothing to do with publishing, which means like 15% of everything the song has ever made since it came out. Retroactively, so since it's come out to this moment and then into the future, when I've paid for an unlimited sample, unlimited license beat, and with that you're talking money from record sales, you're talking money from streaming things, you're talking all of that when they haven't put any effort into promoting the song. He's made a beat and he's stolen part of the beat, and he wants 15% of everything the song has ever made for that, plus the £3,000 advance. Out of principle, I wasn't going to give him that. But because like I may have been slightly open to negotiations if they hadn't used the song as leverage and actually treated me like a decent person. I hadn't put like lies about the situation, right? But nah, out of principle, I wasn't going to agree to that. And also to clarify, when I've been in rooms with producers and we've made a song from scratch, I've done a lot of like 50-50 splits, or I've done like 25-75, or with other collaborated artists, we just agree on a split that's like 50-50, 25. So, you know, like 15% isn't outrageous, right? What's outrageous is that they already sold it with an unlimited license right from the get-go. So you go into BeatStars thinking, I'm buying an unlimited license for this much money, right? And I was broke at the time when I bought that beat. So it's like, you go into the situation buying something, and then later on down the line, it can come back and sting you if they go, oh, this slight thing, well, we found a loophole here, which means that now you owe us all this money, right? So it's like, it was kind of unfair, because say you buy a painting off somebody for £10, and then the price of it rises exponentially because maybe the painter dies or something, or he becomes really popular. You don't then just go back to the person you sold it to and go, oh, that painting's worth like 20 times more now, give me a bit more money for it, because the transaction's been done. And that's kind of how I felt about the BeatStars thing. It wasn't about me losing money, it was about the principle of like, we've stepped into this agreement, and I was in full faith thinking I was buying an unlimited sample, but that's unlimited license, sorry, but that's not actually what's happened, is it? Right? And
what it should have been. Oh, you're saying you should be owed 100% is crazy. The amount of work I put into the video and the promotion of that song, like there wouldn't have been any money to be fighting for in the first place if I hadn't pushed it away like the way I did. I'm not sure why you can't see it, but your lawyer is being a shark. The fact he wants
it says that,
all right, paying you $3K and having an equal publishing split after the third party. So I pay for the track already is nuts. I'm really sorry to have to go this route, dude, but if it doesn't budge on this, we're gonna have to take it to court, and I'm gonna have to put out a statement about the whole thing. I don't really see what other option I have, because I shouldn't be paying $3,000 plus losing an additional 25% of mastering, and even more on the master after all the work I put into it is insanity to me. We had shared an equal cost of making the music video, promoting the track, building a career, selling the record, sure. But you're talking like tens of thousands of dollars and months of work there. And I'm not asking you for that. I get that you made the beat, but I actually put a fair bit of work into the arrangements and writing and the vocals after the fact, you can clearly hear. But then beyond that, spent so much of my own money to even make the track successful after years and years of building a following who meant there was even an audience for this in the first place. I want you to be paid for your work, but dude, this is insanity. Surely you can see that. Threats to claim 100% of the song from your lawyer is kind of insulting after I offer to pay you money out of my own pocket. I've been super respectful about the whole thing, but it's really getting too far now. Probably got too far on like the first couple of messages.
If I don't agree to this, they're within their right to claim 100% of the song because I have breached something in the contract, right? Now, this is what I breached. Apparently, Content ID was turned on the track, okay, on YouTube. As you'll see from my earlier on in this video, I actually specifically requested Content ID was turned off, and my YouTube guide did turn it off. There has been something to do with the distribution where somewhere along the line, even after I specifically requested this, it may have gotten turned on at some point, right? Where this doesn't actually make any money, which we've got proof of, because I actually let reactors, I let content creators monetize their own videos where they're reacting to my songs. I've done this since the start because I believe that everyone should get paid. It helps promote me. I'm not losing out. Everyone's a winner. A rising tide lifts all ships, baby. So,
well, if I ever do end up getting monetized, I appreciate it, Ren. I'm still quite a ways from it. I'm almost at the 1,000 subscriber mark, but yeah, I just need more of my content to be watched. So if you guys can watch everything fully, I'd greatly appreciate it. But yeah, so Ren, appreciate you for that, brother.
Like, I'm like, they're using this as leverage, but legally, but thus is the world. They actually had something to lean on with that. So they were like, look, if you don't agree to these terms, 15% retroactive master split, this share on publishing, and a £3,000 advance against the master, we're going to take 100% of what you own. At this point, I'm obviously pretty annoyed, which is pretty understandable, right? Anyway, at this point,
that's a nice way of putting it.
So there's no reason they need to use the video for Sick Boi as leverage, right? So I give them a fair warning. I'm like, mate, if you don't put the video back up on Friday, I'm going to have to put a public post explaining why it's down. And I give him a fair warning, which is also important to remember, because later on he plays the victim, saying that I've put
In terms about another situation, I said my piece and where I stand. But this is stressing me out far too much, especially after all the treatment, bro. The song isn't back on YouTube by the end of the week, then I'm really not willing to be amicable on how much I offer for the song if it gets to that point. So please sort that, man. It's so fucked up. This whole situation is so unfair on me. I agree that the publishing is unfair on you too, which is why I'll do my best to resolve it. But that mistake really wasn't on me to share the burden, and this whole asking for 3K and even more master over a YouTube technically really pissed me off. Me even offering to knock down to 33 is against my own lawyer's advice. Giving it till Friday for Sick Boi to be up, then I'm making a public post explaining why it's not. I'm stepping away from this. The video doesn't need to be part of the discussions and it should still be up. But if this isn't resolved by then, I'm explaining to the whole world honestly why.
A post encouraging my fans to bully him, which I didn't. I gave him a fair warning about it. I never once encouraged them to bully him. I just needed to explain why my video was down, because this was proper stressing me out, and I feel like I didn't want to be silenced about the whole situation. The time comes around, I put the post out, and I'm always still thinking for like a positive solution here. So I have like a brainwave of like, oh, I've got a brilliant solution, right? So I approach him and I'm like, dude, look, I know that things got complicated here, but out of print.
Okay. Here's the solution. I don't believe in looking back. And if I have to re-record all these tracks with BeatStars and this ends up being a war, it's going to be a real pain in the ass. The issue here, as I see, is you feel that you have been treated unfairly by this whole publishing situation. I agree. I feel I've been treated really unfairly by the fact that my own video I poured myself into is being used as leverage, and that the original agreement isn't honored because someone who wasn't even me fucked up, when it's only me who gets stung financially. So basically, both of us have been fucked here. How about this? We figure out how to make this right with the publishing for Sick Boi. I got an amazing way to get you a fuckload more public sympathy and support, make money and subscribers, and cut out all the greedy middlemen, because people are already so emotional about this. At the heart of this is that you're a sick producer and I am successful because I pour myself into this shit, right? We make a track together, independent of BeatStars, independent of anyone else, a simple contract, 50-50 split, something that bangs, and the narrative to put out publicly that is a middle finger to the industry. You don't have to be so vocal about that part because I don't want you to damage your relationship with the distribution platform. What that's going to do is turn all this frustration my fans have at the situation into a lot of public support. You're going to be seen as a champ for doing the right thing and get a bunch of new subs and clients. I can't breathe knowing I'm not going through all this fucking bullshit anymore. And we have a banging song that will make both of us cash. Yeah, I mean, your supporters are crazy supportive, so this would have worked. And he turned it down. That's on him.
I don't really want to budge on the master split for this thing, but I've got a much better idea, because a lot of my fan base are like now giving him, because I put the public post out, a lot of my fan base are giving him grief, and I'm like, you know what, I want this guy's life to get ruined because of this, like, despite how frustrated it's made me.
Really think hard about it. Also, if we can draft a contract, it'll be super simple. 50% on publishing, 50% on the master. I'm gonna tell all my publishers because of this situation, I don't want them touching it at all. We'll make sure everything is registered legit. Hell, even just drop it through a distributor like TuneCore, so we both know the splits are there from the get-go. So it's being paid direct from them to us, so that there can be no doubt we're making money on it. The best outcome of that situation is you get literally tens of thousands of people that will be championing you on that, which even after the cash from the streams would have a huge positive knock-on effect. Literally, the only thing I want to return for all that is that we stick to the principle of an original agreement. Whatever happened with the content ID thing, that has nothing to do with the stream counts or how big the song has gotten. I looked over the contract carefully, and no matter how many streams that song gets, the contract would have stayed the same. In an absolutely ideal world, I'd love to take that contract out of the hands of BeatStars too, so whatever happens with the publishing goes direct to you. But I'm not sure what the score is there with your agreements with the. Also, the 50% split on the master of the new song is to show you that this was never about money for me. It was about the right thing. I think if we work on a fucking insane beat and delivery, the new one could potentially be even bigger than Sick Boi, especially with how charged people are over this now.
I don't want this guy to get ruined. I don't want him to get abused about it. I just wanted to get the song back. That was the thing. So like, I sent him a message. I'm like, dude, look, I thought of the thing because I am a man of principle. I didn't want to bend to threats and stuff about the song being claimed 100%. So I'm like, I've got a much better idea. Let's make a song. We'll split it 50-50 down the middle. Master, publishing, everything. A song from scratch. Then if we do that way, it'll be like a fuck you to the industry. Yeah, you and me on a track. You'll make way more money this way because it's 50-50. You'll also get my fan base on your side. It's going to be a great thing because I'm always like, I want to look forward. I don't want to look backwards. I don't want to look at all these things that happened in the past. I'm like, this is actually going to make him even more.
For all the shit that you've been through, yeah, I'm sure that was a really, really tough thing to learn.
And he rejected it. He turned it down, which I still think to this day.
I find it hard to envision working on another song until this current situation is sorted at work. Another job on the side. I really don't have time to read through all this right now and give you a satisfactory answer at the moment. I will reiterate that all I want is a fair conclusion for both of us. I don't want to bleed you dry or ask for anything that I am not owed. I respect you and what you have accomplished with your work. I have always treated every artist I have ever worked with more than fairly. And I've always asked independent artists who, granted, have a much bigger challenge for less than I do. Dragging this out only truly profits your lawyer, since my representative is employed by BeatStars, not directly by me. Complications and misunderstandings only profit your lawyer, not you or me or anyone on my team. The whole situation is hurting you and your image because you have so much more to lose than me. So I wish we could have kept this private. little blow right there. I feel for you, Ren. I really do. I think it's also fair to say that the details of these negotiations far surpass our comprehension, as we are merely artists and have no background in law. That's why I'm letting advice on this. I have a feeling that he's being advised on what to say also, because this is way too proper. I mean, there's some incorrect spellings, but you can tell Ren is writing his own. But this seems a little bit too professional, should I say, for the kind of scum this guy is. I've been fucked by a lot of people in this industry, and that's why I joined BeatStars/Sony Pub. I needed someone on my side who fully understands how all this works, and they only have ever been fair and honest with me. Read through my proposition and massively benefits you. This situation doesn't hurt my image at all. This is massively gaslighting. Tell me which one of these statements wasn't a lie.
It is a bit of a silly move given what happened and what happened next, but it's a shame, man. And if you're watching this, you really should have taken that. I'm sure you are watching it. You really should have taken that deal. It was brilliant. Not only would it set you up with way more money, which is obviously what you most care about in this situation, but it also got loads of my fans on your side, which would also set you up for all things that you release independently as well, and you'd have come out this looking good. Shame. I offered you that olive branch. I offered quite a few olive branches on numerous occasions, which you weren't interested in. Then after that, there's a post on Instagram saying that I've stolen samples from people, which is bizarre because I never have. So I send him a message being like, he said that a British artist is.
I made all my own beats and recordings. If you're talking about the last track where I sampled clear receipts, it's even online on a public database. Look, I'm done fighting with you. I'm open to negotiate fairly if you. I'm not talking shit. Everything I've said comes from the conversation, which is why I said many times you're welcome to share it. Also, if you're talking about the online retakes, I've actually had props from the artists they're sampled from, and they get revenue share on the videos. But nice reach, man. Did my guy say it wasn't true? It isn't true, brother. It's not on the buyer to clear the sample unless it's contractually stated.
Got in touch with him and been like, Ren steal samples, which is obviously complete made up bullshit, right? So I messaged him about that. I'm like, what samples have I stolen? The Vera Hall one that I just put out, totally cleared. We cleared that with publishing company because I actually don't like steal my samples. And then any covers that I've done, they're just on YouTube. You're allowed to do that because there's a cover license on YouTube. So like, what are you talking about? To which he then just like ignores it, takes the post down, and then like and then just goes on some other fucking tangent. So it's like kind of grasping at straws here to make me look like the bad guy. So we arranged to have this call with the lawyers and Kujo, and I'm actually really excited to have the call because it's the first time I can talk to Kujo face to face, deal with this like grown-ups, like adults, and talk to each other. But it's not how it pans out. So we get on the call, and the first thing that happens is the lawyer just says, "Look, Ren, I think that you taking this public was very unprofessional." And I was like, hold on a second, I wasn't the person who took this public. First of all, like, taking the video down is an aggressive move, and also I didn't take it public. First of all, Kujo was commenting countless things on his YouTube before I even make the comment, calling me a liar, a coward, a numb. So like, to say that I took this public, nah, I just responded to what happened and then explained to my fans why the song was down. Those posts are still up for everyone to see. All the posts on his comments are still there for everybody to see. So first of all, it was kind of like, we got into it straight away with me like having to be like, I put it straight and everyone was like, okay, yeah, fair enough. The funniest thing about that call is Kujo was on it. He did not say a single word. Even when I like addressed him with questions, his lawyer would interject and go, "I can answer that." And I'm like, yeah, I kind of want to talk to the person who's like, you know, like an adult. I want to talk to this person. And then my lawyer there's even a moment where my lawyer's like, "Look, I want to address this question to Kujo. Do you actually feel like this situation is fair?" He says nothing, and the lawyer interjects again. So for that whole call, which, you know, took about half an hour, 40 minutes, he didn't say a single word. And I thought that was disrespectful, given the circumstances. He later claimed that it was because he doesn't legally know enough and it should be between the lawyers. But no, man, like, regardless of your legal knowledge, we can still have a conversation like adults. Like, I'm not here to try and like intimidate or anything like that. I want to talk to you like a grown-up, brother. And that didn't happen. I wasn't afforded that luxury. I was talking a fair bit on that call about how I felt about the situation and what I felt was right. And I also said on that call that I didn't think that a retroactive split was right, because of all the reasons I've mentioned. But it is what it is, man. And then we came off the call, and I felt pretty let down by it, to be honest. This is where the plot gets even more ridiculous. And I'm sorry this is a long video, guys, but this is mad, and this is emotionally exhausting, this bit. So I read a bunch of comments on Instagram from this person talking about the contract, saying things that aren't actually in the contract. I'm like, who the f is this? So I message him and be like, yo, by the way, you're misinformed. The contract actually doesn't state that it's on me to clear the samples. Then I click on the profile. I realise that it's Kujo's girlfriend, so I immediately unsend all those messages. Because to be honest, look, he was getting grief from my fans, and I think to myself, you know what? He needs someone supporting him, even though that he's been an asshole. I don't want to like start messaging his girlfriend and shit. Whatever. I'll leave her out of this. But she sees that I've unsent the messages, and she instigates the conversation. Says, "Have you done an oopsie?" We start chatting for a long time. We'll put those messages up so that you can read it. We start chatting for a
Yeah, I didn't realize you knew Kujo personally. I was trying to explain myself fairly, but I have no interest in affecting any of his personal relationships. It only took me a second to figure out on your profile. I'm not interested in fucking up the dude's life. I just want the situation to be fairly resolved. I'm not interested in him being screwed over for publishing at all. I too have been a struggling producer for ages. It's also only the past 2 years things have been blowing up. But I do want to get a video I poured my heart and soul back online, and I figured out how Kujo can get his publishing money.
A long time. We'll put those messages up so that you can read it.
Listen here, I understand you were taken back and had no idea of any of this was going on. I also know what it's like to pour your heart and soul into a song. I tried so hard to empathize with you, but that all died when you made your public statements. I can understand you informing your community over the status of the Sick Boi music video, however, inciting them to go harass while deforming things. Okay, like he didn't instigate anything. That just... Have they never heard of Eminem and all the stands? You know? I mean, when you have passionate fans, you got passionate fans, and they're going to do anything for that artist. So it's not gaslighting anything. You just explain what was going on. You didn't incite anything. That word has been thrown around very, 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 very loosely nowadays. Inciting. While deforming things that you said / done to villainize him, painting him as this scheming, greedy, envious character that couldn't be the furthest from the truth, pretending he only came after you because the track is successful, saying that he's asking for more than he is owed, saying he's uncooperative and implying that he's not willing to do anything about it. Those are all lies that fed your community, and we both know it. No, no, he's got the receipts. He's got the receipts. I don't know if you read his messages. I know that all the deceitful people in the industry can make any last person paranoid, but he is not out to get you. He has a very strongly anchored sense of justice, and I can assure you he has never meant to step on any toes. He meant to step on toes. He copyright strike the video. You tell your friends you expected him to at least come to you directly. Hasn't he told you that he was 100% sure you were fully involved in the conversation in the first place, especially when this had been going on for months? I mean, he could have reached out. Just been like, hey, did you know? Especially if it was going on for months and he wasn't getting a response. He'd just be like, hey, has your lawyer talked to you about this whole situation? Are you going to respond to this situation? And then Brandon would have been like, what situation? And then boom. I've seen how he handles himself around artists. Anyone that has ever worked with him has praised him for his flexibility, kindness, and integrity. He's been undercharged or even offered beats for smaller offers. Artists plenty of times because he truly cares about the arts above everything else. You say you're an underdog, yet you stage this public humiliation thing on yours and his channel, almost like you're calling the accused in a trial, where the jury is made up of only your devoted fans. What are you trying to accomplish? Who the fuck do you think you are? Do you hope that thousands of people denigrating him, shitting on his every accomplishment, threatening him, will somehow bring you justice? You're talking about receipts, encouraging him to come forward and to face the wrath of community, expecting what exactly? Is this really who you are as a person and how you operate? It is distasteful and deeply unethical. He legit opened this entire conversation with you in an ethical manner. Saying he didn't even want to get you involved.
It actually ends up being, it seems to me, like it's like semi-amicable after a while of talking to each other.
Jesus. I'm saying you're mad, which is why I deleted the messages. I think you're trying to find. There was so many times. It's interesting. I wish you would take them to go. My lawyer should have too. Told him I don't want to work with any of them anymore. I said that until I saw the messages from Kujo on his YouTube saying that I was basically somehow betting the truth. At that point, I had nothing. I said nothing to my fans. They only found the video because the copyright strike came direct from his channel. I got upset when he sent me messages saying it was the industry standard that anyone who buys beat has a cover licensing because it felt super gaslighting.
Like it's
I know
like
it wasn't true.
Semi-amicable after a while of talking to each other.
I kind of post out for money, however, split publishing. I was getting literally hundreds of messages asking what the video was. Setting. Then I saw those comments he wrote, basically shifting all the blame onto my lawyer, and I snapped. Like, I'm sure the truth in what you're saying about his character. I'm not sure if he can see it, but what his lawyer is pushing him to do isn't fair. And then he explains the situation. Yeah.
Like we should. You can pause this and read this if you want. It's like.
Try to reiterate, but I really think the people side should have the responsibility since they're working for you, bruh. Yeah, they should have. I told. That's all she had to reply. That was the very last message. For all been so many times. Oh, okay. Jeez, they really went back and forth. Okay, the responsibility. Yeah, but this is so mad. Yeah, I won't lie, I'm still mad at all the people you sent his way. He didn't send nobody.
It's like, basically the long and short of it is like she feels like.
If you know how long you could have actively participated in the negotiation, maybe reach a point. What did the copyright strike and all that and shit? Well, I mean, if it's not his fault. Yes.
Kujo's been misrepresented and feels like it's a lot of the industry's fault, my lawyer's fault and stuff.
And right here, she's starting to take a turn. Which you can see, oh, right here, she started to take a turn, I'm no longer reading out loud. I read better when I don't read out loud. Because money.
Stuff like that, which is kind of what Kujo feels like, right? She then threatens to break my kneecaps, which, even though it's a little bit out of pocket, you know me, I laugh about it.
All right, if I think about it, make sure your wife really get the grief. Okay. No, I don't feel like he's dealt with this perfectly, but I know you feel the same about me. Look.
Thing is, the thing that rubs me up about things like that is, if that had been the other way around, I never actually once got violent about this situation. If that had been the other way around, they would have been like, Ren's such a violent, later on they would have been like, Ren's such a violent person or using bully tactics, because they've spoken about like how I'm using bully tactics by simply talking about the situation publicly, transparently. She also gaslights me by saying, you know, like, imagine what would have happened if he had mental health issues. I have a very long list of mental health issues. I am the person with mental health issues. You're not considering what it does to my mental health, are you, when you take down a song that means that much to me? A song that I've poured into, that I'm exposing a part of me that's very vulnerable about my health journey. Like, you're not considering that, are you? All I've done is post publicly about the situation. I've never told anybody to send you guys abuse or anything like that. And actually, if anybody's watching this right now, for clarity, even though I am very annoyed about the situation, I don't want anyone to send them abuse. I don't. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, I'm annoyed about the situation, but it's done now. The song's down. It's gone. Do you know what I mean? So, like, I'm not trying to ruin somebody's life over this. I'll have my own form of revenge, as you'll see at the end of this video. But I'm not trying to ruin anyone's life over this. So, like,
and that's what we're gonna react to next.
To me that I'm trying to incentivize stuff like that. I'm not, guys. I don't want you to go and abuse them, right? But it is up to me to talk about this situation fairly. So, like,
this kind of reminds me of the whole march to the Capitol and peacefully make your voices heard. And then they said that he was inciting it. If you guys understand that reference, you guys will know what I'm talking about. And if you guys know the truth of the situation, then you'll definitely know what I'm talking about. But just like how they were spinning Ren's words out of context, they spun his words out of context as well.
We seem to make some middle ground. She's even talking to me about, like, her ADHD and knows that I've got ADHD and, like, you know, maybe we just got... So I'm like, you know what? She seems pretty level-headed, right? So, like, cool. You know what, maybe these guys are, it's just a big misunderstanding and we can figure a way to amicably sort this out. And I say to her, look, yeah, I'm happy to split the publishing, but I don't really want to split the master out of principle because I bought this, right? You know, but then at this point I start being like, you know what, maybe I'll split some of the master for the future stuff just to get this out of the way, even though I don't believe I should because they've stolen the beat with a stolen sample. I'm like, if this just gets this over the line, I'm happy to split the future master. I even say that in the email thread to the lawyers and stuff, right? So I'm conceding a little bit here because I just want this situation done with. We end on a good note in this conversation. Then the next morning, I wake up to posts from her all over my Reddit lying about the contract. And then I see a comment on Anthony Ray's video where he's talking.
Unfortunately, I'm unable to show the screenshot of the document. However, I can confirm that indeed the licensee should hold the producer harmless in case of an uncleared sample, and that any payment for sample clearance has to be licensee borne. Also, this is her. I don't even understand how he had such a level head with the
about the situation from her, saying this is what the contract says, and she made up she wrote a whole passage that wasn't even in our contract. It was completely made up. So after her being super nice to me behind the scenes in this conversation and feeling like I wake up to read this and I'm like, I start losing my mind, because I'm like, these guys, they're like, they pretend they're on my side, and then it's just like they publicly post all this stuff. So I'm like, I put her up on it. I'm like, what the fuck are you doing? Like, first of all, this is defamation. You can't be out here like making up stuff that's not even.
that is defamation. These guys just want another, like, they want to be sued personally. You know, I'll give you the royalties and everything, but I'm gonna sue you for 100% of everything you guys get from it. You get nothing because of defamation. Oh my god. And what? She just not replying anymore?
Even in the contract, you know? So she's like, yeah, it's ridiculous. Right, so next I find a bunch of messages on Reddit from Kujo's girlfriend lying about the contract, which I'm going to put up here, which is actually very illegal, by the way. No, I won't be pressing charges over it. I just want to get this situation out of the way, but so I'm just going to put all these up for you to pause and read if you want to. It's ridiculous, basically. She also says that I was obviously upset, so I wasn't the most cooperative. As you guys, if you skip back in this video, you'll see I was extremely cooperative when I found out what was going on. I was being very amicable when I was trying to offer Kujo solutions and being amazingly supportive and sympathetic. I refuse to fully acknowledge that a mistake on my end causing Kujo not to get paid was at the heart of all of this. It wasn't. A stolen sample was the heart of all of this.
My question is, did these people really think that he wasn't going to post all the receipts? And they were just going to defame him the entire way? They're in very, very deep legal shit right now because of this that they put themselves into. All because they were trying to get royalties. That's crazy.
Yes, the publishers, right, failed to correctly register Kujo, which wasn't anything to do with me. They've now remedied that, and there'll be a back payment for whatever percentage we end up on. No money's been lost here, right? That is something that was the publisher's fault, which I was very annoyed about, which I actually sent a message to the publishers about, explaining how annoyed I was about that situation, fighting for Kujo in that, when I didn't have to fight for Kujo because he was being a prick, right? So I sent that message to them anyway, fighting on Kujo's side, because despite all of this, I am a man of principle still, right? I kept threatening to sue and go public. No, I didn't. I wasn't threatening to sue. I did say I would go public if my song carried on being used as leverage. I gave them a very fair warning because they didn't need to use the song, the video, as leverage, and they kept on doing that. That was because I kept getting hundreds of messages a day from my fans being like, where's the video, where's the video? And I wanted to address it all at once. And I also felt like I was being treated extremely unfairly, right? I had to accept by giving up all my shares of the song in exchange for a fixed fee. Yeah, that was something between my lawyers. Ren took in public the next morning. Yes, I did.
Even more. That's insane. What's this whole ADHD thing have to do with forgetting? Especially something this big. You know, because I have it also. I don't know. Is there different types? Victim.
Right, let's take this home now. At this point, I've just lost all amicability, right? I'm pissed off. I messaged Kujo's girlfriend and him saying, it's the first time I've threatened to sue, but I'm like, if I see any more lies from you guys about this situation, I will sue you guys. Because it's like, that's my public image. Like, I pride myself on the fairness that I show everyone that I work with, right, and my principles. And I'm also very against greed, and I stand against it militantly, which a lot of you will know from my work and how I treat people, that I work with, right? So them spreading.
Oh, bro, I see your comments on all the reactors channels too. Like, yeah, very humble, very, very, very good person.
This stuff that I'm trying to be greedy here massively hurts my public image. So I was like, if you guys lie anymore about this, yeah, I'm gonna do something about it, basically. And then I'm talking to Kujo, and things get more heated. We get another email from their lawyer saying, you know, like, if you won't agree to our terms, we will take 100% of the song. That's where we stand on it. That is final. If you do not agree to this retroactive master split, we're taking everything. So I messaged back. I'm going to show you that email. I messaged back, essentially summarizing this email. I just say, I'm going to take down the song myself. I'm fed up of this. I'm fed up of you threatening me with my own song that I poured myself into. I've explained what it means to me. I explained to both of them what it means to me. So I'm like, I'm taking it down myself. I don't want to let them win over this. I've been in situations in the music industry before where I had to concede because I was broke, and I just had to let a powerful, greedy person win over me, you know, like. And I know this is not the same situation. It's not like Kujo is like this in this huge position of power here, but how they've dealt with this whole situation was ridiculous. So I was like, rather than like bend to this leverage and just out of principle, I'm just going to take the song off. And it's ironic, man, because the song is about greed, you know, and it hurts me a lot that it's down now. It proper hurts me, man. I can't stress that enough because of what the song was and what the song meant to me, but that's the way the cookie crumbles. So I sent these emails. I also sent a mass email out to everybody, the publisher, Kujo, the lawyers involved, just saying how disappointed I am across the board, even from people on my side. I was just disappointed at how this whole situation been dealt with, because ultimately at the core of this situation, the only person getting proper hurt financially from this is me, right? Because of my hard work that I've done to promote this music, because of my story and how that's been exploited. I'm the person who will suffer future losses for the earnings, and that regardless of earnings, fuck earnings for a second, that song I was proud of. What it meant to people, I was proud of. The messages that I get from people every day, telling me like how much they relate to the song, how much it helps them through difficult times, you know, like that's gone now. That's taken away from people. So yeah, I'm pissed off. Anyway, so I send that email out. Me and Kujo share some pretty heated words. If you're a petty person, you'll probably like to pause on some of this. It's ridiculous. If you're a petty person, you'll...
I am. I've dealt with this like a cunt, pretty rich coming from you, mate. Anywho, fuck you. Yeah. Talk to Blaine, tell him your terms. Let's finish this. I have multiple times, you know my terms, but that's irrelevant now. I don't give a fuck about the details anymore. I just want this to be over and get my bag. Yeah, we know you want to get your bag, bro.
Probably like to pause on some of this. It's ridiculous.
You didn't say a single sentence calling out one. It's because I let professionals handle business like an adult. Man child, bro. When my lawyer asked you to speak, you said nothing. It's actually pathetic because he was trying to play me, stupid ass. No one's trying to play you. LOL. He's holding a license sample and chasing money, like more money than you're owed. I mean, he shouldn't even be getting any money. He stole the sample.
One of the things that took the piss the most that he said when I just lost my cool at this point. I lost all patience.
Not gonna listen to your messages, but just want to let you know I think Blank has done you dirty as fuck in this whole thing. And his own interest from one artist to another. I'm sorry it came this far. That's so fucked up. I'm talking to Blank to see what options we have to end it this month. If we can move the fuck on, I advise you to hire a new lawyer, please. If advice the same, brother, suggesting you take down a song about even contacting the artist and threatening to remove it before we'd even heard back from the original bunkers. If you don't want to listen, I'll say it here. If I see you one more lie from you or your girlfriend about the situation, I'll sue you for defamation, so be very careful. Stick to facts. Don't threaten me, idiot. We never lied. promise. Unlike you and your friends, your girlfriend literally wrote a whole passage, not in the contract, whatever. And yeah, he's a job. And you literally said to me that it was my responsibility to clear the samples multiple times. Can we stop the petty shit?
One of the funny things he said after all this was like, if you really cared about your fans, then you would leave them the song. So he was turning it around on me when he'd used the song as leverage. He said, if you cared about your fans, you leave it up for them. Then he said, I'm letting my pride and ego get in the way because I'm not paying him money that I didn't think he deserved for selling a stolen beat, right?
Do you realize the amount of pain this man's going through for taking the damn song down? Come on, bro.
Saying that that's my ego. It's my ego's fault. And then he kept saying, just pay me, let me get my bag. I want the money, just give me my money. I explained to him again, like, dude, I'm not the person that pays you the money. I've explained this to you so many times. It's the publisher. And he's like, all right, cool. It finally seems to sink in that, like, I haven't stolen this man's money. I haven't taken a penny of this man's money. The publisher was at fault for not registering it properly, and they're resolving that, and then he'll get his money from the publishing. I don't want
this has got me hyped
that money. Do you know what I mean?
For the song.
Whatever. He deserves a bit of money for making that part of the beat. Sure. He shouldn't have stolen a sample and sold it to me. Theoretically, he could have all of his publishing taken away, but even after all of this, I still agreed to give him a bit of a publishing split just to shut him up, man. So it's like, I could have been even more petty and dug my feet in there, but I just want this situation over with. So the song's down. The funniest comment that I'm going to end this on, because this is going to be some album artwork, by the way. Single artwork, sorry. This is the next announcement. He goes, alright, peace. Your music sucks, by the way. Which is really funny, considering, you know, the message earlier where he told me that it was an honor, or it was like, it was really good to work with me, you know. Funny. It's funny, hypocritical. Funny. But yeah, sure, my music sucks, brother. Cool. That's going to be the single artwork, which leads me to my last point, ladies and gentlemen. I'm releasing a song about this whole situation, and it's dedicated to Kujo. And it's coming out next week. It's coming out a week today. It's called Kujo Beatdown. And I love it. We made an amazing video for it. I made a beat. By the way, the beat has no unlicensed samples in it. I made the whole thing myself. I wrote all the lyrics myself. All the beats are mine. And that'll be going up on YouTube and Spotify next week. I'll also be recreating Sick Boi because those lyrics and that arrangement is mine. So for the anniversary of Sick Boi the album, you will be getting Sick Boi the beat remade, bigger and better than ever, without Kujo's input on it. So look forward to that as well. And then there's also a third song dropping that's a little bit more positive. Next week's song is angry, alright? I'm just going to warn you there. And before Kujo and his, like, before they start complaining about blah, 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 artistic license here, you know what? I've said my piece. I'm not interested in ruining your life, bro, but I felt like I needed to get it out somehow. And so I got it out somehow. And I hope you're watching this, man. And I hope you enjoy the song, because it's dedicated to you, baby. Anyway, guys, I know that this was a long video, but I wanted there to be no doubt as to where everything stood in this situation and why you don't have a song that means so much to so many people and means so much to me. But there will be a revamped version of that song coming very soon, guys. And if you've made it this far, thank you sincerely. And I hope there can be no doubt as to this situation. Thank you.
Let me go ahead and just click on it. Oh, hold up. Did I mess it up? Was there a little snippet right there at the end? I already had it up.
This is a video, and I hope there can be no doubt as to this.
Oh, fire. Alright. I already have it up. But I'm going to refresh it. Alright, cool. That way the ad doesn't interrupt me. Oh, yeah. That was fire. I'm going to put it there. Alright. An hour and 12 minutes long is this video. uh, I'm hyped for this song, but that's a bullshit situation that he has. Like how he just said that he just finished going through all the treatments. And then he comes back and he was expecting a 2 week down period before he opened up his first show in 5 years. He was excited for it, and then he got hit with all this bullshit. That's crazy. That is insane. Cujo, from this, you're a piece of shit. Honestly, like this, I want to watch right here. Oh, hold up, you guys can't even see. I'm not gonna let you see, but yeah, it was crazy. That was honestly the way he carried himself throughout that entire thing was insane. Like he kept his composure. He didn't lose his cool at all. And his petty little messages wasn't even that petty. Trust me, I have way more colorful things to say. But damn, that was insane, bro. I'm sorry that you had to deal with that. But I can't wait to get into this video. That's coming up tomorrow. Right now, it's 8 o'clock in the afternoon, and we're just gonna upload this straight. Yeah. Well, I kind of have to look into those little ad cutscenes. But yeah, like the video. Comment down below what else you guys would like to see. Kujo Beatdowns coming up next. And we'll see you in the next one. Peace.